through the densification plans might be Barrydale. And obviously, from all that, there was a lot of, it almost became like a hot topic. And we realised there's a lot more to this whole thing. So we figured it's quite important to get the community together, to chat about it and see where we will stand, what our needs are, how we feel about it. There's going to be some people who are for it and some people who are against it. I don't want tonight to be like a finger-pointing session or people arguing and fighting. What we want to try and achieve is get information and get a feel for what we all think. And we've got Wilhelm and Wilhelm here from the town planners to give us more insight as well. So hopefully we can try and keep it as amicable as possible, because I know it can be quite heated as well. So try and keep this as an information gathering meeting, and your questions should be directed in that sense. Come on, it's fine.
Thank you, sir.
Go on.
So you should I just want you to speak a little bit louder, because some of us like me are very deaf and old.
Yeah, so I just want to quickly run through some of the basic concerns. This also so that Ron and Wilhelm can also sort of understand. It might not be everyone's concern, some people might be for some things, I don't know. So I'm just going to run through them very quickly. So basically we want to know what the municipality's future densification plans are. Will condensed sort of subdivision, will it start setting a precedence? We start allowing an earth to be divided into 8 or 10. Another question a couple of people asked is, would farmland be rezoned and developed into residential or industrial? The impact of densification on infrastructure. So obviously water security is a big concern. In the IDP review for this year, they actually mentioned that Barrydale's water capacity is already beyond that capacity. Things like the honeysuckers that are out of commission, if we build in more houses, are we going to cope with that with sanitation? Obviously, densification requires more sustained road maintenance and stormwater maintenance. What's our electrical load going to be? Lack of capacity regarding medical services and policing. And obviously, one of the big ones is the aesthetic value, which is a large reason why a lot of people move here. So the rural and quaintness of Barrydale, the loss of wide open spaces, and the rural character. So gated communities and things will start bringing in that city feel, which is not what we want. And obviously there's more densification increases, also bylaws will come in. So basically, things like keeping backyard chickens, cattle and sheep and stuff start becoming a problem. Devaluation of properties situated around gated communities has also been brought up. And then things like low income housing, where the municipality will claim that it creates job creation, but it doesn't really. If all those people in communities that are going to create jobs. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it there. And then if I can, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what sort of densification plans there are for Barrydale. And we'll start the ball rolling from there. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll hand it over.
Thank you. How do you voice? Hello.
You can start.
Sure. Sorry, I've been in the municipality for 7 years. It's probably the biggest gathering of people I've seen in Barrydale. So I don't know how many of you were the IEP meeting last night. Perhaps some of you invited me. Probably as many, if not more, here this evening than last night. So thanks very much for organising it. From our perspective, it's an opportunity to engage with the community again. Ultimately, we don't get an opportunity to speak a lot with community in groups, because there's no real collaborative groups that we speak on a one-on-one basis with a lot of people. But having said that, my name's Ron Brennan. I work for the Wilhelm municipality. I've been appointed there as the manager of town planning and building control, and then on the sidelines of the environmental side, the environmental unit. Town planning and building control comprises myself as a manager and admin person. Then we've got town planner, Wilhelm and a GIS technician, town planning technician, which is interface, which some of you might have spoken to over the years. And in our building control section is Quatana, she's building control officer and a building inspector. So that's our whole unit for the whole Suriname, and that deals with about 12,000 people, and Suriname, as you know, comprises Barrydale, all the rural area around. Includes Suriname, includes Batuliasuki, Seabrook, and Fanta, Malakas, etc. So between Wilhelm and myself, from a town planning perspective, we're really busy. We've got a lot of things on the go. And I think a lot of people feel because we sit in the Swillen Dam, we don't think about Barrydale. But we do. We've got a very good GIS system. As many of you know, we had drone flights over there last year in October. So we've got a very good idea of what's happening in Barrydale. We've got a lot of idea of where people are encroaching on boundaries, etc. That imagery is really useful. So basically, although we might not fly around here in cars quite regularly, we actually fly around here and what's on the GIS. So somebody we have been to our office and knows we keep a good check on it. Having said that as well, I've been in Montague now for the last 25 years. The reason I'm happy to be here, I want to wander around the hotel a bit, because the reason our family actually came down to the Western Cape is, I think it was about 93. My parents had bought the Barrydale Hotel in the park. And that's how the rest of our family ended up in the Western Cape. So, having said that, we had to look after Barrydale. I've got a very soft spot for Barrydale, because that's the whole reason our whole family ended up being here. I don't know how many we've been here that long, but we've been here since about 96 in Montague. So, we've got a good idea of how Barrydale works. That was even before the internet, because we had to figure out where our folks are moving to. Then I was working for the provincial administration, although we had new photographs of Barrydale, it just sort of didn't exist on any particular research topic. So at that time it was pretty much a rural village. So that was even before the country pumping started. I think the hotel was the centre of the universe in those days. And I think also was on the main street. So yeah, so Barrydale from my perspective I've got a soft spot for it, and I understand why a lot of you have moved here. There's a reason why I've moved to Montague. So yeah, it's an opportunity to speak to all of you and understand where you're coming from. Wilhelm Spitter, I'll introduce you now. He's worked with Urban Dynamics before that, which is about 30 years experience in the industry. So we managed to entice him from Urban Dynamics and from Australia to come and live in a small town. And having said that, also I was with him a couple of times, why you would come and work at it. And there's a particular reason we want to work with town. We're both very well qualified in the industry, we've done a lot of things. So when we look at applications and look at the town, look at the development fortunate to have a pretty strong team in South Africa to look after this stuff. So that's also a reason why we're working here, a reason why we look after what these small towns really represent. And it's not so simplistic, it's quite complex. We hold to the same standards as the people in Cape Town and Joburg and eThekwini, all those places. Same legislation, same paperwork, etc., etc. We just got a very small team. So having said all that, I'm going to hand over to Wilhelm. He's basically our town planner. All the applications that come to my office get allocated a case officer, either in the case of a smaller application, Clinton Ace, he's a town planning technician, as I said, and Wilhelm is a registered town planner who was like in complex applications. They come to him, he runs that process, and then from then on it comes to me, and ultimately Simon, the municipal manager, which is also our director of service. So, just to let you know, we really do look at applications, we look at the growth of the town in the bigger picture. It's not something we just say, we give it considered attention. Just to let you know, I'm not going to build you up to me, but basically Wilhelm's got a master's degree in town regional planning. So that's as far as he gets into this industry. Our building control officer, China's also got 2 degrees, also got a master's in town regional planning. So, you know, the town's well looked after. So, take it from where it comes, we look after the town. So, Wilhelm, I don't know if you want to run through the densification for the town and the plans. You're running through the SDF, the Spatial Development Framework, as you all have heard about, which is the spatial representation of the IDP. It's a very important document, let's all be aware of that when it comes through. That contains all the densification plans, all the ideas that you have, and linked to that all the other bits of legislation like the zoning scheme and things which you don't look at. All good? Thank you.
Okay, Ron set it up sort of. I'm just going to give you some context where our planning sits in the Western Cape now. On a provincial level, we have the provincial spatial development framework. Now, our local SDF, which is for all the towns and so on, has a fit within those principles that set down the provincial spatial development framework. And one of those principles that we have to adhere to have a plan for is densification. Now, province have got a sort of aim in the densification SDF. They want to get most settlements up to a density of about 25 units per acre. That's considerably more than Barrydale has at the moment, and it's quite a lot more than Barrydale would probably ever have. So it's something that they're aiming at, and we have to incorporate some of those principles into our SDF. But we're not going to push over 25 units per acre. It's not appropriate for the character of the town. And the character of the town is important to us. So we've got those principles, but we're not going to go to that level. But having said that, in our SDF, we might have a look at our SDF. We've identified some playing areas in our SDF, and in each of those areas we can have a look at the density, current density of those areas. One area is, for instance, the main road, the CBD area, and then we've got the industrial area and the other residential areas. We've done an analysis on what the current density is, and we've had a look at what would be appropriate density to densify those areas. Now remember, we don't as a municipality densify those areas. We can put forward principles and some design guidelines, but it's residents and owners and developers who come with proposals and applications who want to densify. So we don't force that on anyone. We don't say you have to densify, you must densify. We just put it out there. This is a guideline. In that guideline, you can have a look. When the application comes in, we evaluate against those principles and we evaluate these applications. Now, this particular application, we've got a proposal for subdivision of that property into 8 small units. To do that, you have to rezone it to group housing zone, so that would allow you to do those 8 units. We've got a lot of objections, and the owner was willing to de-densify the proposal to 6 units, which brings it to a level of about 20 units per hectare, which is lower than 25 units that the property is aiming at. Now, 20 units, that is also the lower limit that we insist on when somebody rezones a group house. Because group housing is a different zone. When you rezone a zone, our minimum standard is you have to have at least 20 units there up. So if they go down to 8 units, they're on that minimum level of 20 units there. But still, it's only 6 units. So I understand people are worried about the character of the town. But if you think about it logically, the character is largely impacted by what you see when you walk down the street. If you walk down the street and past this proposal, you're going to see probably a wall or some type of fence, a human gate in the middle, and there will be 2 houses. Now, whether it's 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 houses, you're going to see 2 houses in the front. That's what you're going to see. So there's not a big difference between the 6 and the 8, but it is difference. If you go down to 4, you can have the same streetscape, you're going to look the same. So those are one of the things we look at. And that is concerned about services. Barrydale has issues with services. That's why for many years we didn't allow any subdivisions. Because there was quite a concern about that. In the last few years we've allowed limited subdivisions. You can subdivide the earth into 2 units, for instance. And we get bigger applications like this one, which is not a lot bigger. It's only going from 1 to 6. You can't provide all the service on site. So this the package plant on site to handle all the sewage. Nothing goes to our sewage plant, the water plant to handle anymore. As you know, Barrydale proper doesn't have waterborne sewage, only in Smithville. So we have to pump but for this development instance, you won't have pump plants, everything.
Can I just ask something? When are you planning on finishing what you started, like with the sewage farm and that? There was money allocated, but it never happened. So when are you actually going to finish all these things? When are we getting a proper?
The sewage plant, I have to do a DPRA to extend the sewage plant. So
Yeah, but shouldn't you also start thinking of, let's get that done before we actually start putting up more houses and making more money? Because that's what it's all about.
Okay. I'm not an engineer, I'm not involved in the plans engineering. I can't tell you the waterworks are being upgraded in the process. I think they've done the first phase, if I'm not mistaken. And there's another phase coming, so they're working on the water issue. Sewage works have the new ERA to extend the sewage works, and that's going to take some time. I'm saying this particular development, that is not an issue because it's self-contained, so there's no additional sewage that goes to the sewage works.
Can you be a bit more specific about what the on-site sewage facility is going to be?
It's going to be a must-come water facility. It's in the ground. As far as I understand, Peter is representing the developer. So
Is it going to require underground?
It's underground tank, or it comes out at the end clean water.
And how much water of our waters, potable water, is it going to take to process that sewage?
The water is flushing the toilet.
Okay, and another thing is the dam was supposed to be bigger, but it never happened. So when are you actually going to make it bigger? Now I'm talking about the water dam as well. You see, all these little things have happened in between, but we never get answers, and then you come and then you've got new ideas, and you always just talk, but there's never solutions. You understand where we're coming from? We don't get satisfaction from you.
And everything is just pigeonholed, this department, that department, but there's no oversight. So this is what we're upset about.
We always come back
It's not just 6 houses or 8 houses, it's a precedent as well in an agrarian town where the value for all of us is that it's an agrarian town. And we don't want townhouse developments and we don't want gated developments.
Yeah, we don't.
Also, you might feel that I think there's some other people who might feel differently.
Well, let's
Yeah,
have a
but
vote.
some people
Let's have a
listen to
vote.
moving in here, now they want to change everything. If you come to Barrydale, Barrydale should stay as it is. You come to Barrydale for Barrydale. If you want to move to Swellendam, move to Swellendam. We live here because we don't want to live there. We don't live in Montague. This is what makes Barrydale unique.
Well, I'd like to
said, that the only way to come to a happy conclusion is to be accommodative of everybody's needs. And you clearly have a bunch of people here who all feel pretty strongly about the environment and other issues. But there will be another bunch of people who feel pretty strongly that why not, if they've got a place they could do, so forth and so forth. But what kind of a guarantee do we have that their contractors know what they're doing in terms of the sewerage, or whether that water leaks into the river, or
the monitors standard as usual.
Sorry,
yeah, that is basically, I think that the idea would be to really understand where one draws the line. What is the minimum allocation? How would it work if you don't subdivide? How many structures of what specification can you have? How this will impact, the little sheep farming and the bridges and the herbs and so forth. So it's all a domino, but I mean, progress is kind of part of the human nature, whatever you understand as being progress. And so we're not going to really be able to say, this is Barrydale now. It's always been expanding and it will go fast now. So the best we can do is say, you shall not pass. These are, if you want to live here, this is the place that we can offer you. Otherwise you must find a different place. So we need to know what the minimum subdivisions would be, and also what the norms concerning private outfits doing their sewage thing, plus more people sinking boreholes. How does that affect the water levels? It's a whole organism really. So, and how can we all cohabit happily, which is also a trait of Barrydale. There's an immense wideness to people. So, yeah,
Well said.
Yes, I'd like to ask two questions. The one is, if there are so many objections around this, why does it get overridden in any case? Because I know for a fact that the people who lived around all objected, and so did many of us. But still, now it's 6, and then we have to pay goodness knows what to appeal it, and then where do we go from there? The other question that I'd like to bring up, and I am specifically involved in the heritage in Barrydale, and we have got the most phenomenal person, Lindsay Howard, who has written all the books. We have got unbelievable heritage buildings, of which the oldest one, or one of the 5 oldest buildings in Barrydale, which belongs to Klaus and Dolly, directly behind this proposed estate, lives. Is it not incredibly short-sighted to whack up 6 houses, and we don't even know aesthetically what they're going to look like? They could be horrible little face brick houses, and the whole aesthetic of Barrydale is consumed by it. And of course, at the same point comes up, why? Why can't we just be left in our little door? Along with all these estates come big floodlights. So then all the stars are blotted out. All the things that we're paying for are changed and altered. Each house gets a new dog. And so on and so on and so on. But where do we stand as far as heritage is concerned? Why, as I went to a meeting yesterday, no funds for heritage. Okay, so we go to the Western Cape, and yes, I often speak to Ron, and we are the watchdogs, blah, 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 blah. People are doing this to this house, this to that house. As far as I'm concerned, if you come to Barrydale, you become custodian of this village, and not a landowner who's going to be dividing it up and making God knows what money out of it. It's a gem that needs to be preserved and taken care of.
Maybe, we should pay for electricity, water, and everything. I thought, maybe I'll put them together. They said to me, no, there's no subdivision in Barrydale. Fine, okay, that's how it is. A year ago, I needed a workshop. I went through all the hoops because they did not want a second dwelling. This is not a small little thing. That particular earth is 223. And I've got a house, so you can't even have a granny flat. This is just last year. It's been built in this year. Okay, so in the last year, it's been built. is putting in a thing for what was it, 6 or 8 or something like that. And you think, how did they manage to even, what I'd like to know, and I know this is a horrible question, is there a connection? And how on earth, the bad suddenly someone gets an approval for 6. What happened?
8.
Sorry. I just want to say one last thing. Look at McGregor. They got a 500 square meter site. See what it's like. Think of Brighton, a beautiful country town. They ruined it.
Still likes the same.
That's what I want.
So the owners of that property, do they even live in Barrydale?
They don't live there.
They don't live
They're my neighbours. I'm actually, sorry. My name is Phil. I'm right opposite this new development. I walked out to the lady behind me. I moved here or came here or bought this place to get out of the city.
Yes.
City. I came from Joburg. I'm also a developer in Joburg, by the way. So I understand all this. I just want to ask you one thing. All these people here don't want to live in a city. They all want to live out of the city. That's why they all bought and invested in this place. I just want to ask you one question, and Ron. I look on the SDF. It's an urban area where that site falls. It's not high densification. It's right next to the zone. How did you prove that? Because me as a developer in Joburg, I used to try whatever. The council always used to tell me, we will only allow what's allowed. So how did this get allowed in the urban area? Clearly on your SDF. It's right next to the high density zone. How did that happen? Please answer me.
It's on wetland.
Come on, Wilhelm. I know you're boss.
Urban areas can be developed and further densified. If you look at the document, it's got a plan for the spatial proposal for Barrydale. The next plan is a growth management plan that we call it. There are densification. The whole town is divided into various planning areas. And for each of those areas, we have a densification target. Now, that target means you can densify in those areas. This property falls within those areas, one of those areas which we can densify. This area of 3 properties, so there's a lot of potential to develop and to densify. I'm not saying we're going to put up large scale developments. This is a small thing. And it's not flats or double stories or whatever. It's not walk-up flats of 10 units or 20 units. It's a very small, very limited development. It's really small. It's 6 units. If you approve